situation. How big of an improvement is this new report for the U.S. economy?
Well, Wolf, the headline here is a positive one, right? GDP, the broadest measure of the U.S. economy, it did rebound in the second quarter, 3%. That is a solid number. And it also beat expectations. This marks a major improvement from the first quarter when we saw a rare...
Out 3%, way better than expected. Too late, must now lower the rate. Talking about Jerome Powell. No inflation. Let people buy and refinance their homes. Well, Fed cut rates to 0%. It
was 2.5% over the 12 months ending in June, and that, excluding the volatile food and energy categories, core PCE prices rose 2.7%. These readings are little changed from the beginning of the year, although the underlying composition of price changes has shifted. Services inflation has continued to ease, while increased tariffs are pushing up prices in some categories of goods. Near-term measures of inflation expectations have moved up on balance over the course of this year on news about tariffs, as reflected in both market-based and survey-based measures.
The President Pelosi became rich by having inside information. She made a fortune with her husband, and I think that's disgraceful. So in that sense, I'd like it, but I'd have to really see I study these things very carefully, and this just happened. So I'll take a look at it. But conceptually, I like it. And what I do think is Nancy Pelosi should be investigated, because she has the highest return of anybody practically in the history of Wall Street, save a few. How did that happen? It happened by she knows exactly what's going to happen, what's going to be announced. She buys stock, and then the stock goes up after the announcement's made. And she ought to be investigated.
Yep. Your audio.
There we go. Hey, we are back. Hey, welcome to the show. My name is Julio, and with my co-host Robert. Robert, how you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. I'm just a little disappointed because Jerome Powell, dude, what the heck, bro?
I know, brother. It is the same. Like, it's this battle that never ends. It's just like, oh, I want to do it, take it political instead of just lower the rates, man. People need that help. People need that push. People need that buying power back so they can, refinance their home, buying cars, invest, whatever they want to do with their money. But come on, these rates, like interest rate right now are like all-time highs, like high 6, 7s.
Oh,
roughly.
Yeah, 6, between the 6 and 7. Yeah.
Don't let me get started on new cars and used cars interest rate. They're like above 8%. So it is ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
That's so crazy, dude. Yeah, I just feel like if only we could just get it down, I would be okay with 1 point, to be honest with you, I would much rather want 3 points down, but 1 point would be just fine. I think sufficient that I think for most Americans, we'd probably be okay with that.
Yeah, it would be ideal if he just put forward a program or a plan, detailed plan of, hey, I'm going to lower, like I told you last time, 0.25% every other month continuously to help ease out and balance out the inflation. Not inflation, but at least not lower too fast that people go crazy like 2020 and everything is gone, and then the price go back up again because the lack of demand. But
here's the thing. So I just looked up the interest rate right now as of today. It's actually not as high as we thought it was. It's 4.25 to 4.5. I mean, yeah, 1% would be great. I'd be really happy with 1% for sure.
Yep, no doubt about it. I would be too. I would be just 1%. I'd be a happy camper. Don't get me wrong. I mean, but look at Jacob, what he said. I don't know about the buying power back. because when you give people a lot of buying power, they go overboard and lose control
We
of the
were
finance.
just talking about that,
Yeah, I
Jacob.
know.
Me and Julio were just talking about that. That you give the people the power back, and a lot of us, and I'm including myself because I'm not gonna lie
Yes.
to you. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna buy this, I'm gonna buy that, and it's
Yeah.
just like, uh, but some of us have a better self control. But there's a
Hmm.
lot of you guys everywhere out there in the United States. We are big consumers, and we'll consume more than what we make, and maybe keeping the interest rate between four. I mean, I thought they were at 6 or 7, but
Hmm.
being at 4.2, between 4.2 4.5. I mean, it's high, right?
Yeah,
But it's necessarily not that high.
I
So,
know. Hey,
but
what are
again,
your thoughts?
This was a Google search, so who
Yeah,
knows? If that's the
I
real.
post a I post a poll on YouTube. If you guys go to YouTube, or if you're watching from, let me see what you guys watching. Okay, for those on YouTube, just let me look at the poll on YouTube. I did a poll of should Trump keep Jerome Powell or fire him in the next couple of weeks due to this lack of communication between whether lower the rates or keeping the same. And Jerome Powell doubled down on keeping the lower rates. The rates are the same, like a 4.25 or 4.5, which is like double as Europe right now. Europe is like a 2.6 roughly
Yeah.
on their federal rate. We should go down, like I said again, like zero point 0.5 every other month, 0.25 every other month, which is a quarter of a point. Do it throughout a whole year, and that would bring us back. In 1 year, we should be around 1.75, 1.5, roughly, but gradually, not like all of a sudden, because giving point to Jacob, it would be detrimental for the American finances. We had to do it gradually. People go crazy.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of Americans would just go crazy and
Oh, they would
start
go
spending.
bananas. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. They would go bananas. I'll be the first one buying a Bugatti the first week before they know what that would buy me a car. But now, just jokes aside, it should be doing slowly so we can get this economy going because we need it bad. We need to get this
Yeah.
economy going. So
But for the most part, I wonder, we should ask a poll, like, in your finances, I mean, do you guys think, maybe, do you feel a little bit better, or do you feel optimistic, you
Mhm.
know? And I mean, I do. I work in the construction site. Obviously, I don't do this full time until, but I will say that I'm seeing a lot of moving, a lot more movement than we are used to seeing in the last 3 to 4 years ago, for sure.
Absolutely. Now
Yeah.
moving on to the next subject. We last night in the Pacific Ocean, we had an earthquake about 8.8, which is very significant. It's like the highest I've seen it before. It's like what 8.0, 8.2.
Yeah.
8.2 is very significant, and it's created a kind of chain of events all over the Pacific, the West Coast, and all the stuff is happening right now. Everybody's on alert still. And let me play a video real quick on what's going on there. I've seen some footage of it online. I'm gonna play this clip real quick so can people get get
Eight
some.
point eight. Wow, dude, that's a
It's
lot.
pretty. It's a lot. Let's play this video.
8.8
Come on.
earthquake struck off the.
Let me unmute it real quick because I'm playing. Oh, the video. Hold on. 'Cause
Dude. 8 point. Dude, that is that's
Yeah,
a.
it's ridiculous. Let me play this video.
Coast of Russia, and it's triggering tsunami warnings and evacuations in more than 20 countries, including the U.S. The first waves washed ashore in Hawaii overnight, then early this morning in California. And you can see here those waters rose, flooding some businesses in California. Michael Yoshida gives us the latest.
Tsunami alerts across Hawaii sending residents and tourists racing to evacuate coastal areas.
Our number one priority is life safety, and so right now it's an easy thing. Get away from the beaches, get inland, and get upward.
Roads and highways packed as people scrambled for higher ground.
You can expect a tsunami wave to hit the state, and it will not just hit one beach. It will wrap around the islands very likely.
Well, we were up visiting Volcano National Park, and saw the tsunami warning go off on our phones.
The warnings triggered after an 8.8 magnitude earthquake struck near Russia's east coast. Waves from the quake, tied for the 6th strongest ever recorded, lashing Russia's coast. As tsunami warnings were issued from Japan to Chile, with huge waves predicted for parts of French Polynesia.
This earthquake basically moves the seafloor upward by roughly a meter, a few feet, something like that. And that leads to a bulge of water that starts traveling across the ocean.
In the U.S., the tsunami waves hit shores in Hawaii, California, Oregon, Washington, and Alaska overnight. Waves, some as high as 5 feet, were recorded on Maui's North Shore. As warnings were downgraded across the U.S., officials from Hawaii to California saying the worst was over, but urging everyone to remain vigilant.
We were fortunate this time. There was significant tsunami surges. We're still dealing with those now, but it did stay within the banks.
In Washington, I'm Michael Yoshida.
Man, that's insane. 8.8, that's ridiculous. Let me see this post.
And that's why I don't fly back to Saipan, because situations like that.
I know.
So Jacob was from Saipan, so he's from the islands. So tsunamis, I guess he's probably used to that.
Yeah, sure. I know. It is. That's the forever. The Pacific Ocean and all those. Asia is being plagued by. They've been plagued by earthquakes a lot, and in Atlantic we've been plagued by hurricanes and tornadoes. That's crazy.
Yeah, and because of the tectonic plates that are there, but it's just scary. I grew up in a little bit of my life earlier because I was born in California, unfortunately, but so I grew up, in what earthquakes were, and then when we came to Texas, the thunderstorms and the hurricanes. Man, when I seen lightning, I thought we're gonna die. But that's the same thing. If you're from Texas and you go to California and you feel the earthquakes, you'll get freaked out too. So
absolutely. Hey, have you now moving on to the next subject? Have you are you aware of this event happening in Cincinnati? It happened a couple of days ago. Of these people get into a fight in the middle of the street on Cincinnati, Ohio.
Oh, are you talking about the
brawl? Yeah.
Wasn't it a racial thing?
Yeah, I believe so. Let me show you a video of it. This is it right here.
Cincinnati, we're about to have a live report on that viral brawl that we've been talking about. Always helpful, I think, to look at trends before you zoom in necessarily on one incident. So here we go. All right, just start with violent crimes overall. Just under 1,100 violent crimes reported year to date in the city. That is actually down. It's 21 fewer than this time last year. But percentage-wise, the drop's only like 2%, 1.8%, which in relative terms, compared to other cities, is not much. I mean, 17%, if you look at other major cities, is the drop we've seen in violent crimes. I'm talking about places like Atlanta, Chicago, New York, what we saw last month compared to what we saw last year. Again, context always important. Now, homicides, 38 reported in Cincinnati so far this year. It's actually up one more than this time last year. Now, again, for comparisons, look at LA. 116 homicides reported through June, and that's down, in LA. So their trend has been improving on homicides, 36 fewer than the same time last year. All right, it's just a quick snapshot, big picture by the numbers on crime before we talk about this video. Now, let's get to it, the viral brawl. And we do want to warn you, we've shown this, a graphic video coming in from Cincinnati. Police looking for the people involved in the violent street brawl. A video of the fight showing this crowd. Look at this, kicking, and you see a man getting punched, woman getting knocked down. So getting a lot of, look at that, getting a lot of attention. News Nation investigative correspondent Rich McHugh live in Cincinnati looking into it for us, and he joins us now. I know police have identified some suspects. Is that right, Rich, in the video?
Absolutely, Connell. So the chief of police calls it cruel and absolutely unacceptable. I also spoke with the president, Ken Kober. He's the president of the Fraternal Order of Police here in Cincy. He says tells me they've identified at least 6 of the people in that video, and obviously they've identified the victims as well. We talked about the video. He said when you look at the video, the police have been working round the clock to identify everybody in that video, and he's confident they will. You can see a crowd of people attacking at least 2 males on the ground in the footage. You see a man, a white male, we do not know his identity. He's hit repeatedly, falls to the ground. A group continues to assault the man while he lies on the ground. He tries to get up, falls again, disoriented. You can hear people cheering throughout this.
Man, this is ridiculous.
I think I seen another angle of that video, and you know, they were trying to say that it was about race. You know, I don't know if that's true or not, but I mean, looking at it, it did look like whites were fighting against blacks. You know, but again, we don't have all the you know, the facts. But but that is crazy. That is just like, you know, we can't be civilized. You know.
No, it is. We lost all morals. Compass is gone. All the moral compass is gone. Now people beat each other on the streets. They don't care nowadays. It's just like, you know, let's beat each other. And it is I would say, euphoria or something that sort.
Well, it is entertaining for sure. I mean, when you see that wig just flying out of nowhere, you know.
Yeah, that wig was funny. The beating itself is bad. I don't. It is just like I mean, give us 10 more years. How are we going to be fighting each other again? But it's going to be worse.
I know.
Because it's going to be in crescendo. You know what I mean? It's going to be more violence, and the violence will get more cruel and more physical. And then before we know it, we blacks against white against blacks, or Asian or whatever, you know what I mean? It's going to be a racial war and stuff that we don't want.
And, you know, I was about to ask this question, but Jacob asked it. It said, what was the root cause on how did it all started? So.
Yeah, they're still investigating. They were saying the white people were drunk, but I just saw a portion of it. I just saw a white guy getting punched in the face and then everybody jumping into action.
Yeah, and the clip I seen
of action, you know what I mean?
The clip I seen is where the guy fell on the ground and this guy just comes up and just like whacks that dude in the ground, you know?
Yeah, it is insane how this stuff is happening. It's not happening in Cincinnati. It happened all over the United States. I don't know if you've seen the footage of the lady getting beat up at the pool. I don't know if you've seen it before. Yeah, it came the same day, and it showed a lady getting beat up, like in the pool, like a public pool, and there were like 10 ladies jumping on that lady. It was ridiculous. And then we find another one, a group of black young ladies. They were throwing purses, shoes at the airport, at the terminal. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I've seen that one.
So, like, what's going on with these people going? And I don't want to call racist, but it's always the same people.
Yeah, I know. Honestly,
but I have seen people calling out the BS of their own, you know, or the black. I don't want to sound racist, but
I mean,
this is the world we live in.
Look at this. Did y'all hear about the stabbing in that Walmart in Detroit?
Yep. And hopefully, thank God, that guy came up with a gun and stopped the dude. And it was a black guy. So, who stopped
again
the stabber. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, what's going on with my fellow black friends? You know, what are y'all doing? Why are we being so aggressive? And I get it. It started in the 90s, you know. You know, I guess when you try to be your role models are being a gangster or something, you know, like looking up to be that way, I guess it's what this is the result of that, you know.
Do you think it is cultural
Well,
or
it's a culture that they decided to adapt, right? Like they're proud of. Some of them are proud of the hip hop culture, which I like the hip hop culture, but I like it in a sense where um, how it was originally started. It was about political stuff, like liberation and stuff, and then it went into like stories of because Ice Cube and Easy were telling stories of supposedly Easy E stuff and about gangster stuff, and the people started the kids that were fatherless at the time
Mhm.
basically looked up to that, and I guess in someone's reality that is all they have left. And have you ever seen the and this is for all you guys, the viewers too, but have y'all seen the interview with PBD podcast with Charleston or I forgot that guy.
yes, Charleston?
Yeah, he's got very good point. I don't really agree with him so much all the way, but I seen one thing that he brought up that was like really like eye opening. But he was like saying, um, you know, the civil rights movement. Then they got introduced with crack. Black people didn't know. They didn't know that's chemist stuff. They didn't know how to do all that, so it was taught, right. And there was a show called Snowfall that brought that up about. But then he's like, so guess what? Now you have a bunch of black people on crack. So guess what? The crack babies, right?
Yeah.
What happened to them? Because those crackheads ended up having a bunch of kids. Those crack babies. Who are those crack babies? Where are they at? And then you start thinking, well, then he says, that's the aggression that you're seeing now. Those are the crack babies. So I'm like, man, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's like
It
with
is true.
them.
Let me show you the footage of the. Let me show you screen of the video. They did an interview to the guy who stopped the dude with the knife. Let me share the screen with you.
To direct a knife-wielding attacker to stand down without ever firing a shot. The suspect is Bradford Gilley, the man facing terrorism charges for randomly stabbing nearly a dozen people at a Walmart in
Wow,
Traverse City.
a dozen
Jody
people?
Bison got to sit down with the hero who says it was divine intervention.
Bro,
A dozen people that.
a dozen people. It happened in a matter of like seconds. And let's go to this interview real quick.
Derek Perry says it's not his training as a Marine that led him to get involved in stopping Gilly. He says it was a higher power.
A higher power, God just took a hold of me and walked me through that front door, back out to that situation, because I was just a vessel
Good
that
for
day.
him.
He says he was just doing some shopping when things turned chaotic very quickly. He recalls hearing someone yell he has a knife and he's stabbing people.
I just started walking towards where I could hear all the yelling and screaming, and I could see it's like in slow motion, everyone clamoring, the mom being pulled in one direction and she's screaming for her child. And as I turn the corner, I can see one of the down stabbed victims up by the front door. As I get out, I can see groceries and people running in different directions.
He says he noticed two men chasing Gilly, and that's when he jumped in to help, pointing his pistol at him, shouting for him to drop the knife.
Everything was just so surreal because as I looked over my pistol, looking in his eyes, I can see that he didn't seem like he was aware of all the things that were happening. He was just very wild-eyed and just not there.
Perry says he had to turn everything off around him and ignore people yelling at him to shoot Gilly and focus
that was
on
a
doing
white
the right
dude.
thing.
Any other person
Black dude
probably
was the
would have
hero.
listened and just suffered the consequences of it. When the man was
That's what I'm
clearly
talking
unarmed
about.
at that point,
That's a
and
hero
people
right
were
there.
I understand their frustration and their.
That's what, and the funny part is like nowhere in the news, like nobody showing this in the news.
Yeah, like this
No.
guy is a hero, man. Man, applaud that guy. That guy is a hero for sure.
And that is nowhere to be found. Like they're not even talking about it on CNN.
Yeah, this is my first time hearing that. That's
Really,
crazy.
that happened. Yeah, it happened like almost 2 days ago, and nobody cares. And that's the narrative that freaking news media is doing nowadays. You know what I mean? Okay, let's say the shooter that we covered 2 days ago. Remember that, right?
Yeah, correct.
We did a live stream on that. If you missed the live stream, please go back to our prior live stream. We did an emergency live stream about it. They were talking about the possibility of being white. Remember
Oh yeah,
that?
CNN, and we caught it too.
Yeah, we could have like, what do you mean possibly white? Like, what they have to do? Active shooter. What it have to do? What it have to do with being like
And
it's
that
supposed
was
to happen?
CNN. Remember?
That was seeing it. Yeah, and we were like, that is nuts.
Yeah, the picture's right
It's
there.
active shooter. I don't care if it's black, white, yellow, purple, like light gray. I don't know, but like, come on, why you make it about race when it's supposed to be a mad crazy person shooting other people? I mean, those race doesn't have to be involved with this, but yet left once again doing their thing. But it was far from white
Yeah,
to
for
make the
sure.
point. You know what I mean? It was far from white.
Yeah, they had the picture right there, like right after that lady said it,
Mhm.
and then the guy said it, and then they were showing the picture, like you could see it. I mean, but
But
like you said, you made a fair point. What does even race got to do with anything? We just got to know that there was a bad, evil person.
yeah.
We don't know the motive, you know.
And the funny part is they scrubbed the internet about this guy identity
Yep.
quick,
But yeah, we
like
couldn't.
not even an hour on it.
Yeah, because
We
we were
couldn't
only a
find,
few minutes late. Remember?
and we couldn't find anything about it.
Mhm.
I look up on X while you were talking on the live stream. I couldn't find anything.
Yeah.
Nothing. Like, he has no trace, and it happened like same thing happened with the shooter of Donald Trump at Pennsylvania in the Butler, Pennsylvania. They scrubbed the internet so quick. I couldn't find anything about it. Nothing. Now more information is coming out about he suffered from a head trauma, I guess, while playing football as a young kid, and I guess he got to the wrong building because he was supposed to go to the NFL building. That's what they're saying, because he had couple notes on his pocket, suicide notes. But I guess he had some type of beef with the NFL about
He probably
head
didn't get
trauma,
drafted.
something like that. But we still stuff it coming out slowly. You know what I mean? They're still investigating, so it might take a couple weeks, and most likely this news will die out, and we go and move on to the next, big news. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
So we probably never find out what's going on. It's just like the same. You remember that shooter, that
The one
shooter?
in the school, private school.
Yeah,
Yep.
they
You
didn't
know,
say anything, but because it was a transgender. Remember
well,
that?
but yeah, but you know, Julio, it's like if the Dems would stop shooting people, we wouldn't have gun issues because every mass shooter has been
Right.
a Dem, a left,
Right.
all the way to the Columbine shooters. So,
Ironically, right?
mhm.
Ironically. Let me see if I can find some more information on the shooter of from uh, from the other day. So because it's a lot of stuff going on, especially in this Manhattan shooter.
Yeah, and it's just crazy to me, Julio. Like, I mean, there's just one thing, um, if you're going through something so hard,
Hmm.
like don't don't take it out on the world. If you're like, life is hard as it is, and we get it, and no one's trauma is less than the other person, because that situation that we're going through in our mind, that chemical balance, is the same for everyone that feels that.
So
Of course, obviously, there is some stuff that is really bad.
yep, it is stuff that we need to embrace. Seeking help. We need to embrace the reality of people are sick in their mind and need some help. But we need to stop demonizing the tools that they use because Why they? I mean, from the Manhattan shooting, which is bad as it is, the next day they were talking about banning assault style rifles. The very next day, right? But what happened to the stabber? Are we gonna ban knife now too? Like, why you don't hold the people accountable? Like, if he was bad for stabbing people, put his feet to the fire, put him
Yeah,
in
like
jail, lock
we
him
don't
up,
we
and
don't
so be it. You know what I mean? But why we have to be like, oh, now we have to ban guns, or now we have to ban this, man? Like,
we don't ban cars for the death toll that cars create, right?
and
I
they kill
mean,
more people than guns every year.
yeah, exactly. And so we don't ban that, and we hold the drivers accountable, right? So that's the same thing with the guns. Why don't we just, like you said, hold the person accountable? Just doesn't make
Simple.
sense.
It's very simple. It doesn't make sense, but this is the world we live in now. And let me see if I can find you more details. I'm going to show you a video on the details just released 2 hours ago. Let me put this on. Hold on, let me share the screen with you. Let me share the screen real quick. Sorry about that. Take me 2 seconds to share the screen so we can see the news right here. All right, let's play this video real quick.
Apple early this week on Monday night. A live picture right now there. As you can see here, just about 5:20 local time, as we're learning new information about the gunman, the suspect, and potentially some of the operation behind it. Let's bring into the conversation right now Fox 5's Arthur Chien. Arthur, thank you so much for joining us here on Live Now from Fox. What more can you tell us about what authorities are saying and some of the images they've released?
Yeah, a lot of movement on this shooting. Experts, Andy, are telling us that the investigation is looking at a couple of things, but it's one of the key things they're looking at is whether or not the gunman threatened the NFL before embarking on that long drive from Las Vegas all the way to Midtown Manhattan, where the NFL is headquartered. We also have our first look inside the vehicle that he was operating with, and we also have some information about the prescription medications that were found inside that car. You're looking now at the first pictures that we have inside the car. That's a carry case for a large weapon like an AR-15 type of weapon. Obviously, it's empty because police say that was the weapon that Shane Tamura used in carrying out that mass shooting on Monday. This other picture shows bags and bags of bullets and additional ammunition that were in Ziploc bags and then in a cardboard box there. There's something on the upper part of that screen there that looks like it could either be a cartridge or yet another a gun. The key to this is understanding that had this gunman gotten back to his car, he would have had additional gun firepower to work with. Now, let's draw the attention to the next photograph. In this one, we're going to be zooming in on that middle console on the upper left. You can see there's a prescription bottle as we get closer and closer to it. And you might also notice that usually you have that orange bottle and it has a white cap on it that's tamper-proof, and that is missing. So it's an uncapped bottle of prescription medication. Law enforcement sources are telling Fox 5 in New York that at least 2 of the medications were retrieved from the car, and both are used to treat mental health conditions, including a Zoloft generic, which is used to treat depression and panic disorder, amongst other illnesses, and Deval Prox, which can be used to treat conditions that include bipolar disorder and epilepsy. And obviously, countless Americans struggle with mental health conditions who do not end up arming up and carrying out mass shootings. Nonetheless, if we go to the next series of pictures, authorities say Tamura had these 2 weapons on him on Monday evening. The AR-15 style weapon that was his primary weapon. It's also referred to as an M4 in the military. And also that handgun that you're going to see, which they say is what he used to kill himself, shooting himself in the chest. As for the investigation, it's now focusing on the state of Nevada. Tamura's friend there is said to be cooperating as he details selling that AR-15 style assault rifle to the alleged gunman who ended up using it to shoot 5 innocent people here on Monday, killing 4 of them. Tamura played high school football and had left handwritten notes on him saying that he suffers from CTE. As we've been telling people, that's a type of brain disorder brought to prominence when identified by NFL players suffering from it. That was over a decade ago that started coming out. Now, his note accuses the NFL of concealing the dangers of CTE for the purposes of its own profit. Also in the note, he wrote, quote, "Study my brain. I'm sorry." And finally, Andy, the medical examiner's office right now is looking to see if In fact, the gunman was suffering from CTE. They're also conducting a toxicology exam to see what sort of drugs or medications were in his system. If experience serves, sometimes it can take up to 2 or 3 months for that toxicology report to come back. And meanwhile, we reached out to the NFL and we just heard back, Andy. We asked specifically if there was any prior contact or threats made by the gunman. They referred us to the police department. They did not say yes. They did not say no. They just they moved the question over to the police department. But one of the questions too is if they received a prior threat, how was it handled? Was it referred over to the NYPD? So referring it to the NYPD right now is interesting, but we're going to chase down that lead and we're going to talk to the NYPD about it.
All right, very.
I mean, that is interesting how what we talked about the trauma that he suffered about a decade ago. So he'd been fighting probably this disease or this disorder for about, I would say, 8 to 10 years minimum. So it's been ongoing, and I guess he has a kind of beef with the NFL back and forward. We'll probably find out later on if he wrote any letters, any emails, or he make any comments on their website or something like that. Or sort.
So dang, he was in the wrong building, huh?
Yeah, he went to the wrong building. That's why probably, I guess, when he find out he was in the wrong building, he just shot himself. But he was ready to put up a fight because he got easily on those bags. I saw more than 100 rounds. So
Oh yeah, in that box. You see how many of those for the Magnum?
yeah, Soloff is powerful, and he has that bottle. I think he drunk it all. That's why he was so relaxed.
But I just find it weird that he shot himself in the chest.
Because he want his brain to be studied.
Oh yeah.
That's why he shot himself in the brain, and he left a note like, "Okay, just please study my brain." So it was
I'm
kind of
sorry, you killed innocent people. You don't get a last request,
Yeah, I know, but nevertheless, they probably studied his brain, tried to prove a point. But if we happen to have that issue, they're gonna sweep it off under the rug, and the story gonna die out. The NFL will not let that go. In my opinion, the NFL will not let that information.
Oh, of course not. That's their cash. And honestly, that's their way of keeping slavery. That's how I see it.
Yeah, me too. That's a slave masters.
Yep.
I don't care what people say, but that's a slave masters, and that's an issue they're gonna run out. They're probably trying to do damage control. That's the way I see it. From now on, it's like how we can mitigate this, how we can kind of block this information to going out. If there is any way, they might put a judge on top of that, trying to seal those documents, trying to seal the toxicology and the autopsy records. They're gonna find a way just to seal those records so nobody can see them. So just to protect their profits. And I don't know, somebody probably requests a FOIA request. Somebody put in a FOIA request and trying to find out what's going on. That's a key though.
Yeah.
That's a key. So let's see. So right now we are about to, I think that's all for today, man. I'm gonna make it short.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on in the world, guys, and it's just
this is just a recap. Oh, by the way, talking about recap, before we go, Julian, remember that young scientific guy that make fuel out of plastic?
Yes.
Just to recap, his mom came out a couple of days ago saying that he is okay, but she would not reveal his location. So at least he's alive. That's good.
Yeah, that's what we announced in the last live. Remember, we got that news right minutes after. In fact, we were faster than the Daily Mail itself. It was in India. Remember? That's we were. Yeah, but it's just
ironic. They posted in India, not in the US. Very ironic.
Yeah, but the good thing is he's safe. But it's just unfortunate that he's hiding because,
his scientific.
Which brings me to the question: who would really want to destroy that? Like, maybe somebody wants the credit, or the secret to do it, or I don't understand it. The patent, maybe.
I don't know. It's all about money. It's all about the money. It happened to the guy that make the what
The
make fuel out
hydrogen.
of water, the
Yeah.
hydrogen, and he ended up being poisoned a couple of times. I think they got him the second time, and he ran out of the restaurant saying, "I got poisoned," and he died in the parking lot. That was crazy. That was like out of the movies. So I don't know. Let's see, man. Let's see what we got tomorrow. We got a lot of stuff going on. We have, I believe, Dan Bongino mentioned something coming up down the pipe. Janine Pirro also announced some arrest. I believe she said that before, like today, something like that.
Cash Patel found
Oh, the
the
bag.
the
Yeah,
bag. Yeah.
yeah. Let's. You know what? Let's touch on that before we head out, because I don't
Yeah,
want to
dude,
go.
that is pretty crazy for some of y'all that don't know. Bash Patel was basically I don't know, maybe they told him, but apparently there was these bags that were on fire. Now the question is, did they put them out in time to at least save some of the evidence? That's probably how they know it was the Russia gate or the Russia hoax deal that's going on. And I guess that just lets us know that some people in the agency are still swamp monsters in there, which we know that, but it just basically seals the deal.
I know. Let me bring you back. Let me see. Are we on the right page? Let me show you this.
There we
This is
go.
what Cash Patel found. Look at that. You see that it was found in the annex room somewhere. So they had those documents laying around, and he
And
happened
and,
he
and it's
happened to
I
stumble upon them.
and it's ironic that they're doing this right after the Supreme Court judge said that Obama might not be safe with the immunity.
No, no, he's not, because if they go under the Espionage Act, that is not covered.
Which
That is
isn't that something that
recent.
he did, right? The Espionage Act. Wasn't Obama a senator
I
at the
think
time?
not. Yeah, because it was under Bush.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? I think he
Yeah, yeah.
voted for that. So it'd be so ironic that he gets go to jail for something that he voted in and he caused. You know what I mean?
That's crazy. And they were talking about he's not covered, neither Hillary Clinton. And I don't know if they bring either or, they're gonna bring a lot of people behind them.
Yeah. And see, Obama and Clinton might be not. They might not do hard time, but that means that a lot of them, because they can do a RICO, right?
Yeah,
And get a bunch of them all arrested, which that would be great.
they were talking about that option too. They were talking about they're probably building a RICO case, and that's why they did not mention anything yet. But I don't know. People want results, and people want it fast. And like you mentioned a couple of weeks ago, I think we got used to everything fast, and now it just kind of everything kind of slowed down a little bit in that regard on the Epstein and the Russiagate. It's a lot of big stuff going on. Like between the
Dude,
Russiagate
6 months.
and this Epstein, is just like insane. And we got the economy on top of that, and we got Trump trying to make it happen in 6 months. A lot of stuff happened, but I'm glad everything, even though it's not moving, couple things not moving fast enough, but at least they moving and we getting stuff done.
Yeah, because it's 6 months, bro. 6 months. Unheard of. I'm sorry, like I just gotta
Yeah.
highlight that. It's been 6 months.
Yeah, I bet Obama or Hillary Clinton, whoever is under that investigation, they're probably checking on the books. You know, they they're probably lawyering it up right now. They're probably getting lawyers right now, and they're probably finding places where to fly and not get extradited.
Yeah, they're losing sleep for sure.
They're probably losing sleep for sure. So I'm glad that Trump put him some pressure on them, and probably even though he probably not put him in jail, but at least if
Holding
he
him
make
accountable.
holding him accountable and make him go through what he went through, that would break their backs.
And it's worse for them because they're really guilty. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. It would be hard, really hard. But I hope Trump take him to the same Calvary, take him to the same road, make him feel the same pain, and hopefully their pockets will. If he not put him to jail, at least make him broke.
Yeah.
Spend all the money. Spend all their money in lawyers. So at least when they came out of it at the other end, even though they come out innocent, they just
Yeah.
like
That
broke.
would be great. I'll be happy just to
Mhm.
have them held accountable.
Hold on, give me a second. Somebody send me something real quick. Oh, this is a parody. This is something that I want you to see real quick. Let me see. Because I don't want to be double feed on this because I'm. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, I will. Yeah, I will show you this video real quick. This is funny. Something that we can laugh about a little bit. Do you see it in your side? I don't see it. Hold on, let me see. Right here, right now. Hey, let me watch the video. Yeah, I know.
Uh-oh.
I know.
FEMA, you're not going to be able to get rid of us. We are here. We are Americans.
Oh, I love this guy.
I don't think anyone is trying to wipe your liberal coalition. You're chemically castrating yourselves. You are the party of
Facts.
abortion. And you're having less kids while conservatives are having more. So you're wiping yourselves out. And I would say more power to you. You're about your choice.
Yes. Facts. Oh
You
man.
cannot.
Lost signal. That's funny. This guy's good, man.
Yeah, that is funny. With that, we're gonna end our stream tonight. Hey, thank you so much. We are back Friday. Right? You want to do it Friday? You want to do live stream on Friday or tomorrow?
It's up to you. We could probably do it tomorrow. Well, no, you know what? Let's do it Friday.
Friday. Okay, we'll be back Friday, same time, 6 p.m. 6 or 6:15.
6 p.m.
Yeah, 6. Okay, all right. See you on Friday, 6 p.m. Don't miss out. We're gonna have more information. We're gonna combine a lot of info. We probably will go longer because it's Friday. We might go 2-3 hours on the live stream. But thank you so much. I really appreciate your watching, and let us know if you are if you like the content that we produce, and let us know. And just drop a comment on what you want us to talk about next. I want to talk about aliens.
Yeah, honestly, I think we should bring an update. Remember that video you showed me the next day about there was like 6 of them that appeared in Mexico?
Oh yeah,
or something like that. Yeah, mate, it could be an update for Friday.
I know. I like it. We can do that. Oh, and let's talk about demonic possessions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like that. So get ready, get your holy water, get your cross and your next to you, just in case something happened. Last time we talked about it, my lights went out. So
yeah. And
no kidding. Go back and look it up. 2 podcasts before, 2 live streams ago. Robert was talking about demonic possession, and my lights went out.
Crazy.
I swear to God, crazy. And I was scared for a minute. See, everything in the studio went black. I was like, oh no. So let's talk about it. Friday night. Hopefully we have a guest. Let me talk to one of my guests. He's seen crazy stuff in the past. Hopefully I get him in on Friday. But I'll give you an update tomorrow. All right. So Robert, thank you for your visit again.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, also share this content, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.